I haven't played a whole lot of adventure games in my life. There's I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which is a masterpiece, but aside from that, the only other one that I've truly played is Grim Fandango, which is also a masterpiece, but for completely different reasons. I recently replayed it because I wanted to finally see it through to the end, and it didn't disappoint me. Of course, I vastly prefer I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, but Grim Fandango is also excellent. I think a lot of this has to do with the sense of style that Grim Fandango's story takes. It's a unique fusion of film noir sensibilities and the Aztec afterlife, based on the idea of the 4-year journey throughout it. It lends the game a very distinct vibe that no other game has ever really captured. Just looking out over the night skies, a jazz quartet plays their tune, absorbing the atmosphere all around you and all through your skeleton. It feels calm, yet a little dangerous. Underneath the bright lights of the city, there's something sinister going on. The game's world runs on a comical system where characters are given tickets by travel agents for the way to the end of the 8th Underworld and into the afterlife. Some of them are shipped in coffins, while others are able to get on an express train directly to the other side due to how good they were in life. On foot, it's a 4-year-long journey, and though our protagonist spends the same amount of time in the 8th Underworld, most of it is not journeying there. Manny Calavera only has the goal of rescuing a woman who entered his office as a travel client one day. A woman who seems to be shrouded in mystery because she was supposed to get a ticket on the train, but never did. The initial setup of him chasing Mercedes Colomar, also known as Meche, is a very noir direction for the game to go in. Many stories in this genre are incited when a strange lady walks into a detective's office, though Manny is no detective, just a travel agent who lost his job. The game also takes heavy inspiration from other noir works in some pretty obvious ways. The main villain, Hector Le Mans, is largely modeled after Senor Ferrari from Casablanca, even retaining his iconic chuckle. Casablanca, of course, being the definitive cornerstone of noir movies. It's not just references that Grim Fandango understands, though. It's the entire foundation of the game. The dry conversational style of the dialogue is a great example of this. Just listen to the flow of this conversation.
It is your club, right?
Right. So what are you doing in it? Didn't I tell you not to come back until you can pay your bar tab?
Oh, or they kicked me out of that cat track for printing fake betting stubs. So now I have to come here, Manny, which I love.
Why aren't you over at the roulette tables?
The roulette is for lonely widows and Frenchmen. Why don't you get some slot machines, Manny? Everybody, old women, little children, they all love slot machines. And I have a system, an infallible system for beating them.
All my friends are lonely widows and Frenchmen.
Except me, Manny. I'm here to keep you sane.
Tell me your system, Charlie.
I can't tell you my secrets, just this. You have to become one with the bandit, Manny. You have to get inside the machine and make it want to pay.
On second thought, stay away from my roulette tables. How did you print fake betting stubs?
With this. Isn't she beautiful? The last time I was incarcerated, I shared a cell with the most dishonest con man I ever met. He was strictly small time, and I managed to steal this from him quite easily.
Thanks. You never know when this may come in handy.
Hey, give that back to me, Manny.
Maybe once you settle your bar tab, eh, Charlie?
Oh, Manny.
What else can you counterfeit?
Nothing. Anything.
Can you make reasonable union cards?
Manny, are you going to start moonlighting? Or are you just looking to hang out with the sailors?
Can you do it or not?
I have a deal for you. If you can retrieve my money from Maximino, I can make you president of that crooked union.
I don't need to be president. And why does Max have your money?
I put a whole suitcase of it up for collateral on a rather large wager last month. The race was fixed, Manny. They stole my money like common thieves. Here, take this VIP pass and use it to get into the High Rollers Lounge. They won't let me in there anymore. There should be a safe somewhere in the wine cellar, and my suitcase should be in it.
And you can get me a card tonight.
If you make it back, Manny, the card will be on the table.
You will come to know the game's beautiful pre-rendered cityscapes intimately by the time you are finished with it, not only due to their beauty and great atmosphere, but also by the insanely cryptic puzzles this game presents you with. Yeah, they aren't great. In something like Tulip, the puzzles fit the tone of that game so much better. It's brutal. Grim Fandango is trying to be a fun mystery, but a good majority of the puzzles don't make any sense. In some respect, this works. If you're a noir protagonist, you should be the one deducing what to do next. But there's no reason I would know Manny has a secret roulette fixing table in his desk at the Calavera Cafe. In spite of this, the game does really get you to search every inch of its world in order to know how to proceed, and I love that aspect of it at the very least. You have to find all the tools to put the mystery together. Year 2 is my favorite for this. It's during Manny's time as the manager of a restaurant in Rubicava, the city where lost souls first stop on their journey to the Ninth Underworld. Here we find ourselves embroiled in the intersocial drama of an extremely elaborate conflict. It reminds me a lot of Disco Elysium, but on a drastically smaller and less nuanced scale. This is demonstrating characters like Olivia Ofrenda, owner of the Blue Casket, who you can convince to read poems to you, is also having an affair with her boyfriend's lawyer. That lawyer, you need to get one of the CBs out of jail for being based and preaching communism with a book that you got from the Blue Casket Cafe itself, because you need the CB tools to go on the ship to maybe find Mercedes. It's nowhere near as poetic and intelligently designed as something like Disco Elysium, but it does help to create a greater mystery and reinforce that noir feeling, and is a lot of fun. The cynical tone of the leader of a club full of self-proclaimed communists actually being in cahoots with the biggest crime syndicates in the town is on point too. Leftist movements are so often invaded by bad faith actors like Olivia, such as the current debate streamer crisis in online spheres. That kind of depressing reality is incredibly in tune with noir as a genre, which is fixated on the world at its most skeptical. And ultimately, that's what Grim Fandango is all about. It's a bizarre fusion of Aztec Art Deco movements and noir-style storytelling, full of references to the latter in addition to its innovations to the genre. Playing through the mystery and deducting the conclusions for yourself is a logical evolution to noir as a whole, and instead of a tired recreation of the tropes of noir, it's a loving extrapolation of them. You don't even save Mercedes in the end. The two of you have to work together in order to make things right. When you think about how little noir-style storytelling exists in the modern age, and especially in video games, it becomes clear why Grim Fandango is so special. It represents something that doesn't really exist anymore, and even though it's otherwise quite standard, it excels in its reverence of the form. Because this is how stories live. They're retold and retold and retold, even though they become completely unrecognizable by the end. As a love letter to noir, there's nothing better. This has been Arcade Everlasting, who thinks one mop can get you through 4 years, signing off. Thank you for watching.